Being mindful, tolerant, accepting, these are good things, but not always. Sometimes they may be a trap. Stay with me until the end of this video to know when it's a trap, when it's a good thing, and how to tell the difference. Hi there, meditator. You are watching episode 55 of Master Your Mind Daily, your daily source of inspiration for all things meditation, anxiety, and personal growth. My name is Giovanni Dinstmann. I am the author of Practical Meditation and the creator of liveandthere.com, one of the 5 most popular meditation blogs on the web. So I'll start today with a story. Or actually, before that, let me ask you a question. On a scale from 1 to 10, how tolerant and accepting would you rate yourself to be? 1 being, I'm not tolerant at all, and 10 is, I am perhaps too much tolerant. Now, researchers have found, in a very cruel experiment, if you would ask me, that if you put a frog on a pan with boiling water, the frog will immediately jump out. But if you put the frog on a pan with cold water and you slowly increase the temperature, the frog will boil to death. You increase the temperature a little bit, it's still comfortable. You increase it a little bit more, it's still comfortable. You increase it a little bit more. As you are increasing the temperature in the water, the frog is adapting to the environment until it reaches a point where it cannot adapt any further, but now it does not have the strength to jump out. It's just too hot and it boils to death. For me, that's a very insightful story, because mindfulness and meditation gives you the ability to turn inside, to accept whatever is happening, to accept when something is painful or difficult, and then without needing to change anything on the outside, to learn how to be at peace with it. Now, that for sure is a quality, and it's a quality that we all need. But that can also be a trap, because at times, if we adopt that attitude, we become like the frog that slowly boils to death. Sometimes it pays off to have an immediate reaction and to want to change your environment rather than adapt to it. If you're entering in a relationship and that relationship soon proves itself to be abusive, you don't need to learn how to be well with it. It's better to jump out immediately. And so we need both these skills in our life. We need the ability to turn inside, let go, accept, and be at ease. And we also need the skill to turn outwards and change the environment immediately when needed. One skill is more passive, the other is more active. They're like the yin and yang. We need them both. And if you have too much of one and not enough of the other, then you're not balanced and you're going to suffer. Sometimes, under some circumstances, you're going to have the wrong response. There is a difference between I can accept or I should accept. Maybe through meditation and mindfulness, you develop the ability to accept. So that means you can accept things and not suffer them. But does that mean that you should always? No. Sometimes it's better to take action. Sometimes it's better to change. Sometimes you need to be consciously angry to fix something. One of the meditation masters that I followed early on is called Papaji. He was a disciple, an enlightened disciple of Ramana Maharshi. And there's this story where, this master, he is part of this philosophy, Advaita Vedanta, that it focuses more on letting things be as they are, not in trying to improve or change, but just kind of turning inside, seeing where you are creating obstacles with the mind, with the ego, and just releasing that and being your true self. So that's the general feeling in that philosophy, in that practice. But one day someone came to his meeting, which is called the satsang, and explained that where they live now, there is a lot of noise from neighbors partying every night, and that he can't meditate as a result, and that it's really disturbing their life. And the master asked all of the disciples present what advice they would give him. And being a master of non-duality, with disciples of non-duality, they all said things like, just accept the noise. Or, who is the noise bothering? You are not that. Or, it's a problem for the ego, you're not the ego. These type of answers. And then after everyone was done, Papaji stayed silent for a few moments and then said, you need to move. So, that's it. You need to move. The frog needs to leap out of the water, not learn how to be more and more at ease with the water that is starting to boil. It's challenging to develop these two skills in our life. To be great both at letting go and accepting, and also to be great at taking action and cutting off and saying no and stopping something. These are two different skills. But if we want to live a peaceful life, a happy life, if we want to avoid meaningless suffering, then we need to learn them both. And this is one of the key concepts in my teachings. The idea that you need to balance complementary virtues. That every strength, that every ability that you have in your life casts a shadow. And you need the opposite strength to balance that. Otherwise, you will be in trouble sometimes. So this is the idea. Do you find this useful? And which side of this are you more? Are you more in the side that accepts everything, or are you more in the side that fights and changes things? You need them both. So in summary, meditation and mindfulness gives us the ability to accept things, to be at ease with things, to not need to fight and change anything external, but still be at peace and well in the present moment, no matter what. And that's a great skill to have, but it's not always the best response to the present moment. Sometimes we need the opposite skill. Not learning how to be well in a situation that is not right, but learning how to turn outside and take concrete action in our life. Like a frog, that if you put him on a boiling water, immediately he will jump out. But if you put him in cold water and you increase the temperature little by little, the frog will accept and adapt, and the frog will boil to death. Let us learn and practice mindfulness, but let us not be like that frog. If you have found this useful, please consider sharing with a friend or family member that can make good use of this idea. And if you want to receive the next videos in this series, then like and follow the Facebook page of Live and Dare. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, then subscribe and turn on the bell. And finally, if you want to work with me one-on-one as your coach, then I'll share a link in the description and you can contact me there. Happy growing.